What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're less than a week away from the trade deadline, or basically a week away, and we all know we got the De'Aaron Fox news. And yesterday we did a video on the San Antonio Spurs and De'Aaron Fox. You guys already know what we usually do. But for this one, we're doing the King side of things. We're doing the exact same trade as yesterday's video, so let's go ahead and jump in and do a Sacramento Kings rebuild post a De'Aaron Fox trade. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. So, as I mentioned, we're doing the exact same trade as yesterday. Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson, Branham, and 3 unprotected first-round picks. I find it very interesting how many people think Castle isn't going to be involved in the trade, or this guy's going to be involved in. I'm not saying they're right or wrong, because obviously none of us really know until it happens. But I'm very curious to see what the Kings prioritize. I thought I saw a report that they prefer win-now players, I guess, which don't know if that makes the most sense. But if it does happen, we'll know what exactly they wanted because the trade would have went down. But I still think, since obviously Stephon Castle would be the piece I'd want if I'm Sacramento, I don't know, man. Maybe they don't want him. We'll see. So we're going to make this trade go through. And like I said, we did the Spurs side of it yesterday. So if you want to see the Spurs rebuild with Fox and Wemby, I already did it. And now we're on to the Kings side of things. So turn off trade override really quickly. And now we're off and rolling. So with the Kings doing that, makes you wonder what the other pieces could mean, or in what the other pieces could be, or where they could be going. Because obviously you still have Sabonis, you have DeMar DeRozan, you have Malik Monk. I don't think they're going to be able to trade, like, if they trade Fox, hypothetically, I don't think they're going to be able to trade, like, every single piece at the deadline. That's just going to be really hard to pull off if I had to guess. So I'm going to try to trade at least one more player here. Sabonis, I don't think we're trading. I think we're going to wait till the offseason for that. DeRozan and Malik Monk could be interesting. I definitely think we're going to try to trade Malik Monk here, because I definitely think there would be a market for him more than any of these guys. Obviously, Bonus will have a market too, but going to wait till the offseason for that. DeRozan, I always struggle with DeRozan trades, I'm not going to lie to you, so I'm going to wait till the offseason for that as well. So let's just try to trade Malik Monk for whatever we can get, and we can get this rebuild off and rolling. So if it wasn't already clear and evident, I'm hitting the reset button for Sacramento. Like I said, they may not want to do that in real life, but that's what I'm going to do in today's video. So Malik Monk is going to be heading to the Lakers for Rui and a future 2029 first-round pick. So the Lakers get another piece to add next to LeBron and AD. Malik Monk, of course, played for the Lakers just for a tad bit, so he gets to go back there. So that will be the trade we do, and I'll probably leave the rest alone for now. So now your rotation is looking like this. Now, they want to start Jaleel McLaughlin right away, but I want Stephon Castle to be the point guard, because I think that's what he wanted out of the draft anyway. So he gets the opportunity to do that, although they still have Jaleel McLaughlin starting for whatever reason. But I'm absolutely going to start Stephon Castle for the rest of the season no matter what. So let's do that right now, because McLaughlin is not going to start for the rest of the season, obviously. So it really doesn't matter, because I'm expecting this team to fall off a little bit. We may still end up making the playoffs, though, so I guess it remains to be seen. Also going to push Stephon Castle's shot tendency up and see if he can become something here. So let's do that right now. And we'll see how year one goes. I guess half a season goes with them. Then obviously we'll look at Sabonis and DeRozan trades in the offseason. We'll have a lottery pick via the Hawks. We'll have our own pick. So we could be cooking this offseason. Could be in a good position. So we'll see how it all turns out. So at the end of year one, Shea wins MVP. Sar is your rookie of the year. Amon's your 6th man. Wemby defensive player. And below is your most improved. And Wemby also clutch player. So despite going over 500, Sabonis makes it all be a second team. We actually didn't make the playoffs or the play-in. We're the 11th seed in the West, which, again, I'm not too upset about that. I believe our pick is lottery protected, if I'm not mistaken, but we had 21 from DeRozan, so there still should be a market for him. Same thing with Sabonis. Those are the two guys we're obviously going to be prioritizing trading away this offseason. Stephon Castle averaged 13 down the stretch with 2.5 rebounds and 4 assists. So let's go ahead, simulate the playoffs, and let's see how this all unfolds and who goes on to win it all. So Knicks and Mavericks, and it'll be the Mavericks going on to beat the Knicks in 6 games. So Luka Doncic gets his ring. Chris Paul retires. LeBron James also retires. And now we can head to the lottery. So let's see if we get all of our picks back. So I know we're obviously going to get the Hawks pick, which is number 12. Or I guess the Hawks have our pick, which is kind of an interesting. So did they make the playoffs? They may have made the playoffs. So I wasn't paying attention to that. So we would have had the Hawks pick. But let's see if our pick is protected. I'm not 100% sure if it is or not. So it says they have it. So maybe it's only top 10 protected. Maybe we have the 19th pick via Atlanta. Need to double check and fact check that, I will say. But Thunder via Philadelphia, the Nets via Milwaukee. So we have the 19th pick, but we don't have our pick at 12. I believe that's from the Herder trade, if I'm not mistaken. But again, I'm going to go do some research on it. Doug Christie is the head coach right now. I actually think I'm going to let him remain the head coach for now. They've actually had a pretty good turnaround with him. And then next offseason, we can kind of evaluate the head coaching position. But Let's go research that pick very quickly, because having that 12th overall pick would be very useful right now. But I can't remember if that pick is protected in 2025. I guess I got to go find out. It's actually so hilarious what I just read. I guess it's not that funny, but it was top 12 protected, and we obviously barely get to keep it because it stayed at 12. It's only top 10 in 2026, but top 12 in 2025. So we have 12 and 19 in this draft, which obviously will be useful going forward. So let's jump in and see if we can get at 12. So Ace Bailey goes 1 to New Orleans. Number 2 is going to be Cooper Flag to Portland. Dylan Harper to Toronto. But let's go ahead and skip to the 12th overall selection, and we'll get to the 19th picks. We have Caspers. We have Liam. We have Derek Queen. We have Will Riley. We have LeBron Fallon, or however you say his damn name. Nolan Traore, which is intriguing. Interesting 6'4" guard. Avicic, Jalil Bethea, Florian. Liam McNeely is definitely kind of intriguing to me. His Keegan Murray, I've noticed, has tanked in 2K so badly. He does not develop at all anymore. So I think I might go ahead and take Liam here to start things off. Don't really know the status of Nolan Traore anymore. I know he was someone I drafted quite often, but we kind of given the keys to Fawn Castle, the point guard spot right now. I know Will Riley can become a stud too. But I'm going to rock with Mr. Liam here at 12. So that gives us the Yukon forward, and if we get something good to fall to us. I mean, if Nolan Traore is here at 19, I think we'd take him. So, yeah, he's still here, so I think we're going to go ahead and take him. So Nolan Traore is going to be picked here with the 19th overall selection. We'll welcome those two in to Sacktown. So Liam and Nolan, and then we get Nick Clifford in early round 2. So welcome to the Kings, my friends. Keegan Murray, we will accept. Keon Ellis will accept, and then Brandon will accept as well. McLaughlin, I'm fine with letting him go. Qualifying offers, Isaac Jones is a free agent. And then for free agency, we don't have cap space or anything like that. But now it is time to explore the idea of trading away not only DeRozan, but also Domantas Sabonis. So clearly, I'm looking for good value in return for both of them. We're hitting the hard reset button. So draft capital and young players is what we're looking for. So as I kind of mentioned earlier, I do often struggle with DeMar DeRozan when it comes to trading him, just because he's such a unique fit in most places. But we are going to be sending him to LA alongside Harden and Kawhi Leonard, I guess, if the Clippers are still trying to win. So Terrence Mann and a pick swap. We're basically going to get off DeRozan's contract. We do have to take Terrence Mann's salary, which sucks, but I think obviously DeRozan's value, getting rid of him, I think is kind of what we wanted. We get a first out of it. So let's go ahead and get rid of that. So DeRozan trade is done, and now it's on to Sabonis, where I'm expecting a lot more value in return, obviously. So I have the trade we're going to do. We're going to be sending Domantas Sabonis over to the Memphis Grizzlies. So the Grizzlies get a big man next to Jaren Jackson, John Morant, and we're going to make it happen. So we're going to be getting Marcus Smart's expiring contract, Brandon Clark, 3 first-round picks, which we're very happy to take, and Jake LaRavia. So not a bad haul, in my opinion. We'll take this. So we'll go ahead and make this trade happen. They actually countered me. I originally only asked for 2. They countered with 3. So just like that, we have solved that problem. Sabonis is on to the Grizzlies, and we get a really good haul in return. Jake LaRavia is going to be a good piece going forward. It does suck to trade Keon Ellis, but that's going to be a nice throw-in for Grizzlies. I think he'll fit there better anyway. And yeah, so I'm very happy with that. So now, obviously, you know, comes the next part. How are we going to build this team back up? Everyone has been traded. That needs to be gone. Now it's time to build the team back up. So Stephon Castle, Nolan Traore, and Devin Carter is our point guards right now. We could eventually move Stephon Castle back to the 2 guard if needed. Smart isn't going to be here forever. Neither is Kevin Huerter, Branham. Terrence Mann won't be here very long either. And then Rui Keldon Johnson. So there's a lot more work that needs done, but we have, you know, accomplished what we wanted for the most part. So if we could sign like a bridge center in free agency somehow, that would be my ultimate goal. So I am going to renounce all of these trade exceptions. We're not going to use any of them. And we're just going to renounce everybody, you know, outright. So now we don't have money for like Jalen Duren or anything. We still have a money problem, but money will eventually be freed up next offseason. So we're just going to go sign a center on the last day of free agency. Our pick is top 10 protected next year again. So we are protected by tanking again. If we have a really good pick, we'll, you know, end up with it. So is there anybody intriguing here as a center that we could sign, though? That's my question. So Bagley could bring him back to Sacramento. You do have Charles, who I actually kind of like the idea of if he'll sign here. And he might. So we're going to get Charles on the last day of free agency. And we'll have Stephon Castle up to an 82. Jake LaRavia is up. Malachi Branham is up. And then Charles is up. And then you got like Huerter. Devin Carter's up. Colby Jones is up. But there's a lot to figure out when it comes to this rotation. We can still trade guys like Smart and Huerter at the deadline. So there's still more pieces we can sell off. Which I'm excited to do that when we cross that bridge. But overall, I'm feeling pretty solid about this start to this full reset for Sacramento. So here is your rotation going into year number 2. Stephon Castle is the point guard. Marcus Smart, Keldon Johnson, Keegan Murray, Brandon Clark, LaRavia, Rui, Malachi Branham, and Charles. I just also forgot to mention that Rui could be traded off at the deadline as well. So there's like 3 different guys that I'm more than open to trading at the deadline. We're also going to run a 10-man rotation to get Traore some minutes. Or no, I guess that will go to Kevin Huerter. So Liam McNeely and then Nolan Traore and Devin Carter are not getting any minutes right now. So that is something we definitely need to solve by the deadline. So that's going to be my game plan. The veterans are going to play right now. But the deadline, we are definitely going to be moving Smart. We're going to be moving Huerter. We'll be moving Rui out of here. We're off to a horrible start, which is fine. I want a top pick in this draft. Our pick is top 10 protected, so we'll be good in that department. So as long as we tank it away, we should be in a good position come offseason. So somehow we're actually over 500 right now at 25 and 23. Stephon Castle is having himself a good season, averaging 19 points, which is great and all. But obviously, I was looking to tank the night away and be a really bad team. So let's try to accomplish that by trading away the 3 guys I kind of mentioned. So Rui Hachimura will be where we start. I'm not looking to take on long-term salary, obviously. Just kind of looking to, if we have to take on long-term salary and get first-round picks, I'll do it. So like the Bucks, they want, to trade me a first. I take on Chris Middleton's contract, which they extended him, so that's actually disgusting. I thought it was going to be an expiring salary, so never mind on that. Max Strus, Drew Holiday, Norm Powell, Duncan Robinson, and a second-round pick. I mean, I guess we get a second. Robinson's contract is gone, too. It's a really good second, apparently, because it's a 1-star second, so maybe we just do that. But we do get KCP's contract, which that is a player option, a top 10 protected pick. They get Rui Hachimura. Let's see if we got anything else. Nurkic in a second. I guess we either do the second round pick with Miami, where we get some value for Rui, or we just don't get anything at all. Sure, it looks like it's a very good second round pick. It's from the Lakers, and the Lakers are bad, so sure, we'll go ahead and do that. I know I could get the first from the Magic and take on KCP's salary, but I don't want to take on long-term salary if I can help it. We're also going to trade Marcus Smart away as well, as I mentioned, and then we'll do Kevin Huerter last. I'm hoping to get a first for Marcus Smart, but again, we have to keep in mind I'm not trying to take on long-term salary if we can avoid it. So far, I'm not seeing anything. We do get a first-round pick offered from the Spurs, but I don't know if the Spurs would really want Smart. Paul George in the first, so we actually may not get anything of value here that I want to do. So might be keeping Marcus Smart, unfortunately. Would have loved to have traded him, but whatever. And then last but not least, Kevin Huerter. If we could trade him out of here, I'll take a second for his services if needed. Just get him off the team. So let's see anything. KCP in a first. So again, we take on. This one's interesting. That's a first as well. Never mind. Nurkic doesn't really help do anything. So maybe Rui Hachimura is gonna be the only player we trade away. We could take on KCP's contract and get an unprotected 2030 first though. But I just don't think Orlando's in the business of trading an unprotected 2030 pick for Kevin Huerter. That sounds a little wild to do. So you know what? We're going to hang on to Kevin Huerter and Marcus Smart and just let them walk for free. So Smart is starting, but I really want to get Liam some minutes, which we do. And now I'm just going to simply bench Kevin Huerter for Nolan Traore. And then, honestly, I also want to get Devin Carter some minutes too, if possible. But we may not be able to do that. So unfortunately, Devin Carter is going to be sitting on the rotation again, which I feel bad about. But it's eventually going to change. We could bench Marcus Smart for the rest of the year, too. I mean, yeah, we could. Let's do it. I mean, we want to suck anyway. So, you know what? We're just going to start Devin Carter since he's been here for a couple years, and he'll be the starter at the 2 guard. So, we solve our problem. Hopefully, we get worse, and we're going to be in the lottery. That way, we can make another good pick again, but we'll see how it finishes out. So, even after all the trades we have done, this team was still decent. Maybe that's a good thing, though. Sacramento's dealt with enough playoff droughts and rebuilding that, being a play-in team could be exciting, I guess. But, yeah, we're a play-in team, by the way, just so you guys are aware. So, 20 points from Stephon Castle, 15 from Laravia, 14 from Branham, and then 12 from Keldon Johnson, 11 from Smart, and 10 from Keegan Murray. So, the team was a lot better than I ever could have anticipated this season. But we get, like I said, round 1 of the play-in against the Warriors. So we'll just see how it goes. If we get eliminated, it would not hurt my feelings, but we actually get in. So we're in the playoffs after trading away De'Aaron Fox, which is wild. So San Antonio, obviously in here as well with Wemby and Fox. They have Champagnie, Sohan as the starters still. So I can't imagine we beat Minnesota. It would be wild if we pulled that off, but we are going to lose in 5. So we're going to miss out on a pick this offseason, which, like I said, is really unfortunate. Really wanted to have a good pick, but again, Sacramento's dealt with enough, droughts that maybe this is a good thing, I guess. So let's go to the lottery. Even though we won't be here, our pick is going to be headed elsewhere. We do have the Orlando pick, though, so that's something I did forget about. I think that's from the Suns or something like that. I can't remember exactly how it's worded, but it ends up being pick number, or maybe it's protected. No, it drops to 12. Damn, that's unlucky. It drops all the way to 12, but it is a lottery pick. The Hawks will get our pick this offseason, unfortunately. So it is what it is in that department. But we can finally move on to a different head coach with obviously more head coaches here to go offer. So like, who wants the Sacramento job is the question. JJ Redick, Jason Cade, Greg Popovich. Obviously, Popovich is not coming here. Chauncey Billups is here. But give me JJ Redick if he'll sign. We'll see if he will. It's kind of a cheap offer. Kenny Atkinson is usually pretty good in rebuilds, so maybe that wouldn't be a bad offer either. And then we can go Joe Mazzulla to see if we get one of them. So Redick is thinking about it, but Mazzulla is going to sign right away. So let's just go ahead and do that. So Joe Mazzulla is going to be the new head coach of Sacramento, and we can welcome him with open arms. So 12th overall pick, which is obviously not a great lottery pick or anything like that, but we can work with it. So let's see what falls to us at 12, as OKC is going to be picking back-to-back. I don't even think they're supposed to. But Caleb Wilson actually falling to us at 12 is actually massive. So welcome to Sacramento, Caleb Wilson. That's actually a really good player to have gotten at pick number 12. So, ooh, that's a name I'm definitely not going to be able to pronounce. And then Andy Ross. I'm going to two-way Andy Ross, and then guess we can... Dude, how the hell do you even say that name? I have no idea. Not even going to try. Stephon Castle, Devin Carter, and Colby Jones, accepting all of those. Laravia, Keegan Murray, and Malcolm Branham. All three guys that I actually want to bring back. So we'll have to see how much money they want. If Keegan Murray wants like $30 million, he can go kick rocks. Oh, like $21 million. Okay, it's not bad. Smart not bringing back. Laravia we will. Herter we're not bringing back. Branham will bring back. So a lot of money is about to be spent already, which is kind of interesting to say the least. But Terrence Mann is still somebody I want to move out of here. Keldon Johnson is here. Caleb Wilson and Brandon Clark. We don't really have a 5-man at all. So if we could find a way to... I don't know if we have... Well, we have money, but we're about to be spending a lot of it, I think. So Keegan Murray, I mean, he's a longtime King. So I am going to bring him in to stay a Sacramento King. So getting him for 17.5 would be good. Branham, kind of the same thing. If we could sign him for fairly cheap, I'd feel pretty good about that. So let's try 14.5. And then last but not least with Laravia, maybe we go 15 on the dot. That might leave us a little bit of money to, you know, spend elsewhere. So right now it's everything else. We'll see which money, you know, what we have left. So we have quite a bit of money left, $20 million or so. Robert Williams is here, Mitch Robinson is here. What other options are there, though? So is there, like, actually good centers still available? So Kessler and Duran are here, but we definitely don't have enough money for either of them. Mark Williams is here, which I would not... Ooh, he's unrestricted as well. Ooh, Mark Williams, sign me up for that. We got to dump a little bit of more money, but I don't know why he's unrestricted, but we got to go for that. So let's go ahead and dump another player here. Maybe not Clark, but Keldon Johnson could be probably dumped. So let's see if we can move Keldon Johnson out of here and get something, you know, cheaper. Jalen Smith, I'm not even looking for, like, anything of value. I'm just kind of looking to get off his contract. So Colin Murray Boyles and Dallas has offered me, okay, I can get behind this. A rookie contract and a first-round pick. Maybe we don't even take the first-round pick off of them. Let's just take the prospect. Obviously, Dallas is looking to get better. So they could just take Keldon Johnson off our hands, and that should give us enough money to go after Mark Williams, which I love the idea of. So Mark Williams, sign me up for that. I think this would be a really good addition. So if we can get him, that would be great. So Mark Williams should sign, and he does. So far, so good. We still have more money to spend, too. So now you have Stephon Castle Carter. We're probably going to be moving things around here in just a tad bit, but I'm feeling good. I don't think I'm going to sign anything else. Let's just go to player progression. And let's see what it looks like. We actually made the playoffs last year, which I'm quite surprised by. But Castle's up to an 87 overall, so quickly developing. His efficiency wasn't there from 3 last year, so you have to keep that in mind. But Mark Williams, 84. Nolan Troyer is already up to an 80. Branham up to an 80. Keegan Murray up to an 80. And then 78 Devin Carter and 78 Liam McNeely. So a lot of guys will be contributing this year. So we'll get into the rotation and kind of see how we're going to play it out. But very happy with how things are going so far. Would have loved to have had a better pick this offseason, but... You know what? Made the playoffs, so really can't complain. So here's a rotation we're going to rock for year number 3 or year 2 at this point. I think it's year 3. So Nolan Troyer and Stephon Castle are going to start together in the backcourt. Jake LaRavia at the 3, Keegan Murray at the 4, Mark Williams at the 5, with Branham, Devin Carter, Liam, Brandon Clark, and Caleb Wilson also getting those last few minutes. So that does leave Colby Jones and Colin Murray Boyles out of the rotation, but I can rock with that and I can live with that. So we'll see how this season goes. We made the playoffs last year, so expectations are pretty high once again. Our pick did convey last year, so that's a good sign. We're off to a horrible start so far, so maybe we're not making the playoffs this time around. But I guess we'll find out. Remains to be seen. How are the stats going so far, by the way? I don't know who's all like. So Stephon Castle is still leading the way. And then let's look at shot tendencies across the board. So Castle shot tendency is still super high. Nolan Troyer is pretty high as well. Mark Williams is at a decent rate. Branham and Keegan Murray are kind of like split 64. So Yeah, I can rock with that. We'll just continue just to wait the season. And obviously, this may not go too well. So we might be in the lottery this time around after making the playoffs last year. But it'll probably be in our best interest anyway. So can't be really too upset about it. So we definitely got so much worse this season. It is kind of bizarre how we went from making the playoffs last year to being this bad. But, you know, it just happens that way sometimes. So if we look at the player stats, we can kind of see how it went. So Spawn Castle continues to leads the way with 19 points per game, 15 from Traore, 14 from Laravia, 13 from Mark Williams, and 11 from Liam, and 11 from Malachi Branham, and Caleb Wilson with 10 and 6 off the bench. So let's go see who goes on to win it all, and then we'll be in this offseason again looking to draft with a high pick. So the Spurs with Fox do make it, and they beat the Pacers in 6 to get it done. No, actually, it's Luka Doncic and Jabari Smith Jr. So Fox did not stay a Spur. Instead, the Spurs found a way to sign Luka, which is kind of crazy to think about, but they did. So Mike Conley retires in Dallas. So maybe Dallas had no reason to even want Keldon Johnson when I traded him there. I didn't expect Luka to go elsewhere, but we're projected that OKC pick and the second overall pick. So obviously, fingers crossed that we can stay in the top 3 here. So let's see if that happens. And no, of course, we fall to 4. So we have 4. We have 13. The Jazz and the Blazers and the Hornets are above us. I don't even 100% know like who the best prospects are in this draft. We're kind of far out here now. So Stokes, McCoy, Costanza. So we're going to still be able to walk away with a really good player, but it does, you know, suck not to get number 1 overall. So Joe Mazzulla is still the head coach. And what do we really need, though, going into this draft? To me, we kind of have our starting backcourt going forward and kind of our backups, too, because Branham and Carter, I think, are really solid backups, and Traore is going to develop Castle. So to me, we don't need guards anymore at all. The small forward and like, so our forward positions are the one that I'm questioning. Although Caleb Wilson, I do know develops really nicely, and obviously we signed a center. So whatever we get 4 and 13 is just gonna be a luxury, but I do not think I want to draft a guard basically. So Costanza is gonna go, and Dylan Mingo is gonna go. So all the guards have gone so far, I think, or I guess, forwards have gone. So you have Brendan McCoy, which again I don't know much about him. Caleb Holt, let's see what he's looking like. So 6'7" forward, all NBA, and then Caleb Gaskins, all NBA. So again, I'm not a draft expert by any means or a college basketball prospect expert. So I don't know if McCoy is like an absolute stud and I'm passing on like a generational guy right now. But I think I might take Caleb Gaskins. So Caleb Gaskins, 19 years old. We're going to bring him into Sacramento. So Kentucky, obviously another Kentucky product. We had that with Fox. Hopefully this time he wants to stay. So we got Hugh. Dude, this name is crazy. And we got to take him just for that reason. So give me Mr. Hugo. I'm not going to pretend to try to say that. Never mind. That's another France dude, though. So we do get 77 overall. So McCoy was better technically. But again, I felt so good about our guards, which, you know, that's been a mistake of the Kings in the past, you know, not worrying about best talent available. But hey, 77 overall at the power forward spot. So overall, looks like we kind of cooked with this draft. We had 17 and 20 in it as well. So very happy with what they took. But yeah, I guess we'll sign everybody to a contract here. So we'll probably decline Mr. Yeah, and then Murray Boyles will probably decline. Actually, no, we'll keep him for now. Qualifying offers. I have a feeling we're going to have to cut a couple of players. So we have so many guys under contract now. But we do have Colby Jones and Clark as free agents, which I think we might have to let them go because I just don't think there's going to be room for them. So we're going to renounce those guys, get them out of moratorium day. That way they're completely off the roster. We do have a little bit of money to spend if we want to, but let's see what we got now. So Corey Carter, Keldon, Stephon Castle still looks good to me. Laravia, Liam, and obviously drafted Caleb Gaskins. We have Caleb Wilson, Keegan Murray, and then Hugo and Colin Murray Boyle. So a big log jump, the power forward spot. We don't really have a backup 5 currently. Could sign it in free agency with Clark bringing him back, or you know, Neemias Queta, who has been a King before. But I also have Adam down here too. Honestly, though, I might trade some depth for a backup 5 because there's such a log jam here that not all these guys are going to be able to play. So let's do that right now. I'm going to see if the Sacramento Kings will give me Onyeka Okongwu to be our backup 5 going forward. So we're going to be freeing up a logjam here a little bit. Keegan Murray, as much as I loved him in Sacramento, he just doesn't develop in 2K, man. He's not good anymore. I don't know what it is. I don't watch a ton of Kings games, so I don't know if he's fallen off a cliff or whatever in real life, but he doesn't develop at all in 2K whatsoever. So we're going to go ahead and send him over to the Atlanta Hawks. And now we have Mark Williams, Onyeka Okongwu, Caleb Wilson, and Hugo going to be running that power forward spot now. So thank you for your services, Keegan Murray, but I'm going to be moving on from you. And honestly, this team is going to be very interesting to look at going into this season. I have a feeling this could be a playoff team again because you have Castle up to an 89 Stephon Castle, 87 Nolan Traore, 85 Williams, 84 Okongwu. Caleb Wilson's already up to an 83. Laravia is developing. Devin Carter, Liam. So like all these guys are developing, and you got Hugo and Caleb Gaskins who are probably going to develop very nicely next year as well. So we've put ourselves in a really good position through the draft. Mainly, we did sign a couple of guys like Mark Williams in free agency, but overall, it's mainly been through the draft, which Sacramento Kings historically have not been a team that's drafted well. So if you can change that, then you never know what things could become. So let's go look at this rotation though, going into this season, because I have a good feeling about this. I think this could be a playoff team. So 3.5 balance system, and we could be, we'll leave it at 3.5 balance, I guess. So here is what we're rocking with. So rotationally, Traore, Castle, Laravia, Wilson, Mark Williams, Okongwu, Branham, Carter, and Liam McNeely, and Caleb Gaskin. So that does leave Hugo out of the rotation, which I feel a little bad about, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead, simulate the season with the expectations of, hey, man, we could be a playoff team, and right now we're the first team in the West. So who knows, man? Maybe a championship is in our future this year, as we've only dropped one, or there's some losses, but I'm about to say, as we were talking, we only had the one loss, but losses are starting to come now. We'll see how the season finishes out. So at the end of this season, Victor Wembanyama is your MVP. Stokes is your Rookie of the Year. Josh Giddey, 6th man in Cleveland. Wemby, Defensive Player as well. Malou Watch, Most Improved in Memphis. I actually tried to trade for him when I was doing the Sabonis trade, but they kept asking for Liam in return, which, looking back at it now, maybe we should have done that trade. I don't know. Cade Cunningham, Clutch Player, and Greg Popovich, Coach of the Year, and Aaron Phillips is your executive. So here's your All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, and All-NBA third team. So no Kings representatives or anything like that. Do we get like, I don't know, like, no. So no all defensive second team either. All NBA first team, which we already saw this, so we're not going to go through that again. But third team in the West, so let's take a look at the player stats. So you had, again, Stephon Castle in the way with 19. Troyer was 16 and 9. 14 from Laravia, 13 from Branham, 13 from Caleb Wilson, and 8 rebounds. 13 and 9, and Okongwu with 9 and 8. So even if we don't win a championship this year, I actually have a feeling that we're going to win next year, because this team is only going to keep getting way better. Like, development traits of like Caleb Gaskins and Mr. Hugo, even though he didn't play, like these guys are about to go up like crazy if I had to guess. But we draw the Clippers around 1, which funny enough, they actually have De'Aaron Fox, which is crazy. Did DeMar DeRozan stay with them too? Doesn't look like it, or he retired. So De'Aaron Fox has joined Jaren Jackson and Kawhi Leonard in Sacramento, or in LA. So let's see if we can knock off the Clippers in round 1, and we will beat them in 5. So De'Aaron Fox should have never left us. But now we deal with the Thunder, who have Will Riley, Cameron Boozer, and VJ Edgecombe. Damn, that's a damn good-looking team. Not even going to lie. So game 1 goes to us. Good start. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, 2-1 goes to us. Game 4, 3-1. And Thunder about to get back in this, aren't they? No, we beat them in 6. Wow. Okay. But now we draw Luka Doncic and Wembanyama alongside Jabari Smith Jr. So I do have a feeling this is probably going to come to a crash and burn ending. But hey, make it to the conference finals is still a good feeling. So game 1 goes to San Antonio. Game 2, yep, this is where it's all going to be halted. So San Antonio, all respect in the world, they beat us. Even though they don't have Fox anymore, they got Luka instead. And the Spurs go on and win it all. So clearly there's more development we need out of our team. But I can live with that. I can live with what we just got as results. We actually have another lottery pick here via the Grizzlies from the Sabonis trade. And I was going to say, if it jumps up, that'd be awesome, but don't get that lucky. So we also have 27 via our own pick. So 13 and 27. Obviously, we're going to be adding more rookie contracts to the team, but whoever we draft here is probably not going to be able to insert themselves in the rotation if I had to guess. Let's see if we can get at 13. So Ryan Hampton, we have CJ Rosser. So I guess we'll go ahead and take him. 6'10" power forward out of Northern Carolina. So we're going to get we picked at what? 13, or yeah, 13. So 74 overall, assistant took the other one with Tyler Sutton. Welcome to Sacramento. AJ Robinson, we're going to decline Liam, and then Caleb Wilson and Traore. Obviously, going to accept all of those. Devin Carter and Stephon Castle are both free agents, and we'll re-sign them. So Devin Carter, Terrence Mann also, but we don't need to re-sign him. Okongwu is a free agent, which we traded Keegan Murray to get him. So yeah, I definitely think I want to keep Okongwu, and then Devin Carter will be re-signed to a nice expiring contract. Then Castle is going to get the bag, obviously. So I'm going to resign all these guys, and then I have a great feeling, like I said, about what player progression. Oh, we actually have money to sign another good player, but I don't think I'm going to, simply because, or I guess moratorium's not done. That's why I was about to say, damn, we have still a lot of money left, but now that's going to be different. Okay, so there you go. But yeah, player progression, I have a feeling, is about to be insane to look at if I had to guess. So let's see if that is the case, because we don't really need anybody else in free agency, although we could have signed somebody. I think this team is about to be enough. We got to the conference finals last year. Yeah, we ran into Luka and Wemby, but I'm assuming Caleb Wilson will be up even further. So maybe it's not as good as I thought it would be, but Caleb Gaskin's up to an 82. We got Hugo up to an 81, so he can't be denied in the rotation. Gaskin's 82. Troy 88. So Caleb Wilson up to an 86, though. So the team still looks damn good, though, regardless. Diop is up to a 79. Marcus Johnson is up. So honestly, if there is a world where we can make a trade at the deadline to further solidify ourselves as a contender, I think we do it because there's just so much value here that not all these guys can play. So we'll load the 2029 draft class, but I'm kind of hoping we don't need it. Really hoping that this could be our championship season. I really do think there's an opportunity for that to be the case. Top 10 8th graders are edited, which is insane to think about 8th graders right now. But pause. Let's see what this rotation looks like, though, for this. I don't even know what season we're in. This might be the 5th season or 4th or whatever. I don't know. So here is your rotation. It's Nolan Traore, Stephon Castle, Jake LaRavia, Caleb Wilson, Mark Williams, Okongwu, Branham, Caleb Gaskins, Liam McNeely, and Devin Carter. I think my strategy at the trade deadline, if we do decide to stop there, is I'm just going to simply explore who the best player is available. And we're going to try to trade for him because I think we have all the opportunity in the world to do that. We have so many young players that can contribute, and this is already off to a great start, similar to last year, how it started, and it's cooled down a little bit. But if I do decide to make a trade at the deadline, I will show you guys. It all depends on who's available and if they make sense on the roster. But I am definitely looking to try to win a championship this year, if at all possible. So we have decided to stop at the trade deadline, as I did explore to kind of see who was available and who we could go get. And I have the idea on who I want. It's actually the only player I want at this deadline. And he's on the Pistons. You guys may know who I'm talking about now. And that is Mr. Cade Cunningham. Reason being, well, if we go look at Cade Cunningham and what he's doing this season, you'll know why. So he's 95 overall, 2 years left in his contract, 30 points per game, 27 years old. I would like to go for it this year, and Cade would absolutely do that for us. Right now, our leading scorer is Stephon Castle. I think we need a better score than that. That's kind of where I'm at with this. So that is what we're about to go offer. So let's go talk to Detroit about getting Cade Cunningham, and I can only assume we can make this happen. He's a 95 overall. I think getting him is going to, solidify our chances of going on and win it all. So Nolan Traore, as much as I hate to do it, he is going to be thrown in this trade. There's a lot of value with him in it. So we do have to match quite a bit of salary to make this happen, though. So we'll start with Devin Carter's contract and probably have to trade away. What other salary do we need in here? Maybe it has to be Malachi Branham, unfortunately, which does suck, but we need to match his salary. So we're going to be gutting our rotation quite a bit, but I think it'll be worth it in the long run. So let's take Derek Anderson off them, or Douglas Anderson, I should say, Williamson, and then Oakley. So Nolan Traore, Devin Carter, Branham, Liam McNeely, and let's say our Kings pick and this Lakers pick. That should give me Cade if I had to guess. And they do give us Cade Cunningham. So Cade Cunningham is going to round this rotation up just a little bit further, and it's going to make things a little bit more dense. So Cade Cunningham, Castle, Gaskins, Caleb Wilson, Mark Williams, Okongwu, LaRavia, Hugo, and Diop. So that's going to give the keys to some of the other young players to play, which is also really nice too. But yeah, I'm feeling good about that. I think Cade was a very necessary addition to this team to get better. So it does suck to gut the roster a little bit, but I think it'll pay off in the long run, like I said. So we'll see how it works out. I'll see you guys at the end of the season now that we have Cade Cunningham. Obviously, the expectations are to go win a championship now. So Wemby wins MVP again, and I do have a feeling that is the team we're going to have to deal with, as McCoy is your most improved player, who's already up to an 86 overall. So we may have missed out on a generational prospect there, so maybe I did still do kind of the Sacramento Kings way. But Wemby and Luka, it's going to be a hard tandem to take down, but we're going to do our best, which is why I felt like we needed Cade Cunningham to begin with. So we'll see if it works out. We'll probably go this season and then next if it doesn't work out this year. So here are your player stats. 29 from Cade, 19 from Stephon Castle, 15 from Caleb Wilson, 14 from Rabia, 13 from Caleb Gaskins, 11 from Mark Williams, and 9 from Hugo. So Phoenix in round one, who have Dillingham, Devin Booker. I have no idea how they got Dillingham, and then they got Giannis as well. Very weird, but okay. Shout out to the Suns, I guess. They turned their franchise around still with everything they've done in real life, but hopefully we beat them. So many current round, and we are going to beat them in 5. And again, like I said, while the Thunder are definitely no slouch either, and actually this is going to be a very tough series that we have in front of us. Holy moly. Look at the amount of talent this team has. VJ Edgecombe, Will Riley, Boozer, Chet, Darius. Dude, this is going to be a tough series. Wow. Let's somebody come around and live with the result. So it's a 3-2 lead for us. Can we go up and win them? Oh, we did. We beat them in 6. Wow. That team was tough on paper. We get a rematch against the Spurs, who have A lot better talent now around Wemby and Luka, and somehow Bronny James on this team as well. This is going to be a series where we have to go game by game. But the fact that we beat the Thunder gives me a lot of optimism about maybe beating this team as well. So game 1 goes to San Antonio. We got swept last year, and it looks like that's, well, we might be able to even it up. And we do. Okay, we're not done. I thought we were after being down 3-2, but being down 2-0. But now we can make this 3-2, hopefully. So can we go win on the road in San Antonio to get a championship this season? Let's find out. We got to get in this game. We're on their tails, and we will take the lead. Do we hang on to it? No, we lose by 1 point. Damn. All right, game 6. They want to continue to swap out our starters here. Whatever. Game 6 at home. We force a game 7. Off to a good start, but they get back into it, and it looks like they're going to probably win this one now, if I had to guess, unless we take it at the end. And we don't. So we were very close to winning game 5, and we don't. The Spurs are going to go on to win it all. So to me, since Cade has 1 year left in his contract, we go another season, in my opinion, and we'll see what player progression is looking like for that. But yeah, I mean, the team is already kind of solidified as is. We know what we kind of want. So Joe Mazzulla will stick around as the head coach. Let's just go to player options and see what we can do. So obviously we'll accept pretty much all of these, and then qualifying offers, Douglas Anderson, which we're not too concerned about. Don't know if we have any important free agents. We do not. So everyone is still under contract, which is a good sign. So let's see what player progression looks like this season, and then next season will be the last one regardless of what happens. But super close to beating the Spurs last year. We got swept the year before that, so maybe third time will be a charm. So Caleb Wilson's up to an 88, 86 Mark Williams, and an 85 Gaskin. So definitely not getting development I ever thought we would out of some of these guys, but DJ Roster is up 5 overall, and so is Sutton, but probably going to still be bottom of the rotation, not contributing very much. But all right, guys, let's go simulate this final season, and let's see if a full season with Cade and Castle playing together, if this team can go beat the Spurs, because that's the team that we're having trouble with right now, which makes sense. They have Luka and Wemby. Like, what do you want from me? So this is actually 2 years out. I'm not even going to show last year because it ended horribly, and there was actually a lot going on in my background, and I was super distracted, so I could barely focus on what was happening. We got first rounded last year, so I'm probably not going to show it because, like I said, I couldn't even finish my thought process. So here we are 2 years later, and now we're in the playoffs as the 3rd seed. So you can kind of take a look at the roster now. I know that's kind of confusing to explain, but just trust me when I say that showing last year was not worth it, basically. But here's what your roster looks like now. Cade, Caleb Wilson, Stephon Cass. I mean, everybody is developed super nicely. And you guys know, the further you get in 2K, the further everyone just gets juiced up like crazy. Like, everyone's roster is just super juiced, which is kind of why I hate going super far into 2K, because everyone is just so impossible to beat. But here we are regardless. So 16th in the Western Conference. We may have missed our opportunity to win a championship already in this video. But we have a good roster, so, I mean, I expect to be able to win, but I guess we'll find out. So we get the Golden State Warriors in round 1. We have Braden Burries, Adam, Malachi, Jordan, Kuminga, Jokic is here, Jared McCain's off the bench, LeBron. We got eliminated in the round 1 last year, like I said. Hopefully we don't get eliminated in round 1 this year. It wouldn't have made a difference, I guess. So, yeah, like I said, man, the further you get, the harder it becomes, in my opinion. That's just I guess I can't speak for everybody, but that's how it goes. So I guess I could have shown last year too, and it would have been the same result. But yeah, getting swept obviously is not the way I would have wanted this video to end, but ultimately that is how it's going to end. So, I thought we threw together a really good roster in Sacramento. It never ended up in anything special though, so it's just the same old Kings, I guess. So regardless, I'm going to end it on that note. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you all for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.